a girl is hit by a foul ball. They carried a little girl out of Yankee Stadium on Wednesday afternoon. She left in an adult's arms. Oof, this would be so scary to me. It says a knocked out cold. Minnesota Twins second baseman Brian Dozier said, "The blood. I just hope the kid's okay." In her field level seat on the third base side, she was struck in the face by a line drive in the fifth inning of the game between the New York Yankees and the Twins. The Yankees released a statement saying the girl was treated at the stadium and then taken to a nearby hospital. Yankees manager Joe Girardi said later that the girl was doing okay. We're talking about, what is this, 104 mile per hour? The protective netting at Yankee Stadium stopped short of the dugouts on both sides. The design technically satisfies Major League Baseball's 2016 mandate that clubs and netting to safeguard their customers from airborne bats and balls. It is inadequate as compared to many other ballparks, and on Wednesday, for one of their fans seated within shouting distance of third base, the Mets, for one this season, extended the netting at Citi Field well beyond the far ends of the dugouts. Other teams have taken the same precaution, not because they were ordered to, but because their fans were at risk. And I agree with this. I absolutely agree with this. Why is the netting only behind home plate? Why is the netting only behind home plate? When you go to a game and you're sitting on first base or third base side or even towards the outfield, but most importantly, the line drives on first and third base side, you have no net. How does that even make sense? Why net behind home plate, but no nets on the side where those line drives go? I mean, this little girl was struck with a line drive, basically, and the ball left the bat at 106 miles per hour. In the fifth inning yesterday, Yankees third baseman Todd Frazier lined a ball past the third base dugout and into the seats. So there you go, third base dugout, which is, like I said, right on the sides. There's no netting there. No netting. The ball left the bat at 106 miles per hour. As I mentioned, the crowd groaned, and people near the girl began frantically waving for medical personnel. Joe Espada, the Yankees third base coach, rushed to the wall. Frazier knelt and bowed his head. Gary Cederstrom, the plate umpire, turned away. At second base, Dozier and Yankees base runner Matt Holliday stood together and, according to Dozier, prayed for the little girl who'd been struck. At third base, Eduardo Escobar dabbed at his eyes. In the stands, people stood with their hands on their heads and over their mouths. "I just saw blood coming out of this poor girl's face," Escobar said through a translator. "I have kids." Many coaches and players urged the clubs in the league to install more netting at Yankee Stadium and other ballparks. The teams that have resisted generally cite the wishes of their season ticket holders who prefer the cleaner sight lines potentially lost in the netting. I don't care about your season tickets, because it's going to be you one of these days that gets hit with a ball. I'm very, very adamant about stadiums, baseball stadiums in general, putting up those nets, and do it. I mean, all the way around to at least to where you at least cover to the dugouts, right? Because that's where a lot of those line drives go. I mean, it's just this could have killed this little girl. Yeah, she's fine, but who's next? Who's next? Who's the next fan to get hit with the ball at a baseball game? You're trying to enjoy a baseball game and you get hit with a ball. They got to install these nets. You know what? Let me tell you something. There's a lot of things that are put in place for people's safety, and if there's surveillance systems, if there's what are those metal detectors, if there's security, whatever the case may be, you're already doing all of that. At a baseball game, you might as well put up the protective nets so people don't get hurt at the baseball game. I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of times where I've been at a baseball game and I'm going, man, hopefully that I don't get hit with that ball. And you see that line drive coming, you're like real scared, you know? And yeah, people love to catch the ball and, I caught the foul ball. But what's the risk behind that? What's the risk behind catching the foul ball? Anyways, I'm leaving this segment of Trending Topic Thursday And I'm leaving this segment saying baseball stadiums need to have their nets. And they need to have more protective nets on each side, not just behind the home plate. I mean, it's too much of this. And people go, oh, well, there's not that many stories about this, blah, blah, blah. I want to see the action. I don't want some net being right in front of me. If you're behind home plate, there's a net right in front of you, and it doesn't bother those people. It's like, come on now. Let's be smart about it. Let's put some nets out at the baseball stadium. This girl was hit with a 106-mile-per-hour fastball, or not fastball, but when the ball hit the bat. I mean, what are we going to do here? It's the smartest thing to do. Smartest thing to do. Anyways, if you disagree with me, call me, 559-836-5386. It is the Eggs, Bacon, and Joey Morning Show.